Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the show. I know it's been a while since we last had a show, but I am back. Needed to take some time away, just like any other show. We have hiatuses. It happens. It happens to the best of us. So it just takes some time to reflect, to relax, rejuvenate, and it's going to be good. This is a very special edition of The Message today. And I see that we have some lovely people here. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. And as you do, please hit the bell so that you can get all of the notifications. So switch the bell to all when you subscribe. And don't forget to like this live stream and share this out. Go ahead and share this out with your friends, share it out with everyone on Instagram, share it out with everyone on Twitter, on Facebook, all of the above, TikTok, invite everybody. Okay, so let's see who we got here. We got some peoples. Hi, Angelina. Hello, Life's Magical Journey. I love your name. I cannot get enough of it. I love it. Hi, BDBGP. Hey, Mr. EC. Ooh. Okay. Angelina, all rise. How you feeling? How you living, Leo gang? So, bruh, man, I'm so glad you finally came to my live stream. I've been seeing you around and you are a mess. You are a riot. I'm glad you're here. Don't forget to share this out, bro, man. If anyone needs to share this out, I know it's you. You got some connections, okay? How you feeling? How are you living? So that's the man of the hour. We're going to bring him up in a few minutes. All rise, absolutely. How you feeling? How you living? I love that. Leo gang. Because it's really going to be a lot of fire in this live stream. So for sure, for sure. So let me share what's been going on, why you haven't seen much of me. So this week was spring break. Of course, with spring break, normally I shut everything down. I just want to wake up at my leisure and do what I want to do. That's what I do in real life. However, within the last couple of weeks, there's been changes in my life. One of those things was that I started a work study on campus at the university I attend, and so since I started, I was like, well, nothing going on. I'm just chilling. So instead of me chilling during spring break, I've been working. I've been working my ass off. So I'm doing this work study and I'm loving it. It's beautiful. The atmosphere is beautiful. I love the people who I'm working with. They're really, really wonderful. And it's good. I'm here for it. So that's what I've been doing. So this past week was spring break. That means school is starting tomorrow. I'm not too thrilled about it, but at least everybody will be back, so it won't just be me walking around campus like I was this past week doing the work study where the hallways were empty, corridors were empty. Nobody was taking the elevators because all the students either went back home or they just chilling in the residence halls. So it is what it is. But other than that, I want to know how everyone else has been doing. How have you been doing? So Life's Magical Journey, I know you're in here. How you're doing? Bruh, man, I know you're in here. How are you doing? And we'll bring up BDBGP and ask him how he's doing. So I want to know how everyone is. I see we have 4 people. Please share this out. Please share this out. Make sure that you let your friends know so they don't miss out on a great show today. And yes, I'm going to be pulling it up from my phone because I can't see what's going on. Other than just, you know how it is. Because you know I got to be nosy. BOE Entertainment, welcome in. How are you? Welcome in, welcome in. None just chilling letting the buckets free. We're going to be bringing him up in a minute. Life's magical journey. I'm great. Things got to head on to work right now, but I'll be sure to catch the replay. Have a great life. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like this, and when you do watch the replay, feel free to leave a comment. Let me know what you think. KS Trap, Mrs. EC. I'm here for it. But yeah, please share this out. You know, we want to make sure everyone is in here. I'm here for it. And it's of course gonna play, even though it's supposed to be on mute. It is what it is. Okay. Doing good, eating Dan Dan. Yes. After this, I'm gonna be having some Dan Dan too. I will be having Dan Dan myself. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about catching the new episode of The Equalizer coming on tonight, starring Queen Latifah. That show is lit. So if you have not seen The Equalizer, check that out. It is excellent watching. Oh my goodness. Has me on the edge of my seat every week. What's the tea? I'll share the tea soon. I'll share it soon enough. But for now, we're going to have to bring up the man of the hour. So, our guest tonight is known for his amazing catchphrase, how you feeling, how you living. He is a man of many talents, from gaming to designing to comedic styles. I think this man can sing. He just don't want me to know, but I'm gonna dig it out of him anyway. I think he can sing. But we're gonna find out everything tonight as we bring up the legend known as Big Daddy Beard Game Productions, also known as BDBGP.
What's going on? All rise. Honorable Angelina. Everybody, what's going on? How you feeling? How you living?
How you feeling? How you living? I know that's right.
Appreciate this. Thank you.
We were chatting before the show, and I was like, some of this stuff we gotta save for the show, but then we couldn't help it. It was just organic like that. It was just cool like that. I love it.
Absolutely.
And you see, she cheering for you.
Hey, baby. I see you, mama.
Come on through with the love.
That's my lady.
But yeah, with this being a very special edition, I'm pretty sure it's catching some people off guard. But I know that many people catch the replay if they can't catch the live stream. Yeah. But for those of you who are watching, we will be going over some questions. And if you have a question for BDBGP in the process, feel free to use the black heart. And yes, you can find it in the emojis section. So use the black heart if you have a question for Big Daddy Beard. And if you have a question for me, use that trans flag. Pretty much this flag right here behind me. Aside from that, how you been? I haven't seen you in a while personally. The last time I saw you like this was the Battle of the Beats at the top of the year. And then the last time I think I saw you in a live stream, like I don't remember who, because I've been pretty busy to where I haven't been to many live streams lately. It's just this undergrad life is just is a new thing, is difficult, but I'm hanging in there.
I could definitely imagine. What's going on, Cuzzo?
It's my cousin. Hey, Cuzzo. Ooh, you look nice in that picture. Hey, what he does? I like that picture.
That's my cousin right there. AG, what's going on? Jersey, yes, sir. Stand up.
Exactly. Warriors 423. How you doing, Jay?
What's good, War?
Oh, we already getting started with the questions. So before I get to my questions, answer this one: Jagged Edge or 112?
112.
I kind of prefer 112 only because of the swag that they had. I mean, I love Jagged Edge. I love both of them. But I like a person with a slight edge to him. I don't think Jagged Edge have that edge to them. No pun intended. Compared to 112, they were, let's see, Jagged Edge was with Jermaine Dupri. 112 was with Diddy. I love both of them, but I'm leaning a little more towards 112 myself. But yeah, I agree with you 100%.
Thank you. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Jagged Edge is dope. They definitely had some classics. They had some bangers. I won't take that away from them. You know, they brought something different to it with the whole thug and R&B type of vibe. It was cool, but it's 112 though. I mean, come on, those first 3 albums. You know, the Cell Type Room 112, and then the transition into part 3, just classics. Come on, Cupid. It's over now. Dance with me. Anywhere. I mean, the list goes on and on. You already know. It's just like, what's going on, family?
Exactly. Hey, Angie Styles, how are you? Welcome into the live stream.
I was telling my aunt
here. Don't forget to hit the like button as you come in. Please hit the like button and share this out.
I was telling my aunt that, you know, you got to get on this message show because it's a really dope segment that Angelina's doing. And she's a Leo, too.
Yes, Leo gang.
Come on, be the next guest on here. You know, we're making her a YouTube sensation right now. She's becoming an overnight star and stuff like that. So we definitely want to keep the foundation going. And plus, you know, we Leo, so we got a rep for the whole pride. So let's make it happen, Auntie.
We have to. It's how we do it. This is how we do it. Like Montel Jordan.
I can't stand Warriors. It's too funny.
Wait, why in the heck would you choose Scar over Mufasa?
Because we had debates on my podcast about this, about the whole 112 and Jagged Edge. And then we had the recent one where I was talking about all the computer animation studio companies.
Yeah.
Ones. And so we had a little side debate about who's better between Mufasa and Scar. And I had to say Scar because, I mean, like I said, he
took Scar over Mufasa?
Of course. Reason why is because he set the bar high for just being that villain that you love to hate. Think about it. We hated him in the movie for everything he did. It was, if you think about the Lion King, you look at Mufasa and Scar, that was just the Cain and Abel of the lion world. So yes, as much as we hated Scar and everything he did and the way he treated Mufasa and Simba, we still love him for that villainy. Like, how could you not love him? The voice and, you know, even though when he was singing his first song, Be Prepared, how he came out with that green aura, the eyes and stuff like that, the smooth, you know, it was dope. You know, I haven't seen a villain like that in a long time. You know, think about like the Joker or, you know, some of your favorite classic villains. You hate them, but you love them because they have that thing, that Lauryn Hill, that thing, you know, it's just, it hits, you know. So
yes,
we love Mufasa, we gonna love him, but Scar was just different. How could you not like the man? So
yes, I love that everyone is saying hi to each other. Come on through. I choose Mufasa, and that's because he was the king of the jungle.
Yeah.
Scar's problem was he let his insecurity get the best of him, and he ended up taking out his own brother. For what? You could be a king in your own right. You may not be the king, but you still are a king. You can't be, you know, studying, you know, your brother enough to take him out. You're only giving him power that he didn't even know he had.
But you gotta remember too, he was getting older, his time was passing. You know, remember what he said in the beginning. He was next in line until Simba came in. And now I think Simba's going to get older. He's going to have a kid and so forth and so forth. So it's going to keep that bloodline going. So now he's like, well, you know, I don't want to be second in command. I want to rule it all. You know, so
well, that's too bad. He could have had a kid. He could have had a child first before Mufasa did, but he didn't. He was too busy being jealous and being envious, which is not cute on anybody, especially not on a lion. And then he ended up doing something he wasn't supposed to do, and karma came back and bit him.
It's like the saying goes, God don't like ugly, and he ain't too fond of cute. So
exactly. Oh, the educated natural. How are you? Educated natural. Please check your IG DM, please. Thank you. I'm glad you're here, though. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, he said you want my spot, you can't have my spot. You can't, yeah. Scar can only have his own spot. Why would Scar want somebody else's? You be your own king.
Very true.
What's for
Very
you
true.
is for you, and what's not for you is not for you.
For me, I just love a good villain. Again, I'll give you another example.
You love a villain? I mean,
I love a good villain. I don't love any villain. I love a good villain who really just plays the part and just is like, yes, like that's it. You did it. I'll give you a perfect example. The Dark Knight. Heath Ledger, Joker.
I remember The Dark Knight with the Joker. I remember seeing it when it came out in the movie theater.
Exactly. We hate Joker, but Heath Ledger played that part so well that we just loved it. He won that award. It was well deserved. It's just like it's a love-hate thing. You think of every single TV show or movie you've ever seen. You know, they've always had that one villain that is just like you love to hate. I'll give you another example. Michael B. Jordan, Killmonger, Black Panther. You know, we hated him, but we loved him though, because he did such a good job. He played it so well. I mean, ladies, I know why y'all loved him, but I'm just because I see Angelina's face.
That's the only reason why for me, because he would have been a good boyfriend for me. But Chad Boswick would have been hubby material.
Yeah. Even the Creed 3 movie that just came out, Jonathan Majors played a great villain.
Now, Jonathan Majors, that's husband / baby daddy / father of the children, all of the above from me. I don't know why people were tripping over that photo shoot that he had, and I love that photo shoot. Those photos were everything. It showed masculinity to me, but it also showed vulnerability. And I think people misinterpret vulnerability for being too soft or something. And I mean, we all have feelings, don't we? Men, women, all genders have feelings. Every gender out there, and there's more than just two, have feelings, have emotions, have vulnerable moments. And what's wrong with that? Why can't we be comfortable in our own skin? Why can't we? What's wrong with that? It can't just be left to women or to whoever. Everyone should be, allowed to feel themselves and to be confident in themselves without being scrutinized. So those who are scrutinizing Jonathan Majors or whatever his name is, they got the game twisted.
Yeah, he's on top of the world right now. So
exactly, he is material.
He said, "I'm out here. Ask about me." So.
But I'm sorry, I never liked the villains. I'm sorry. I guess I'm a goody two shoes because I don't like the villain.
I love the heroes, I do, but the villain just makes it that much more interesting. It just gives you so much more to look forward to. I'll give you another example. Star Wars: The Return of the Sith. Where Anakin, when he turned evil. Again, but we loved him because he just made it that much more interesting. It's always so dope when you can have that villain play such an amazing role that it just makes the hero that much better. It makes it even more entertaining. It just takes it up another notch with just entertainment. So it's just like, get him, but at the same time you're like, man, like, he's really killing this role, or she's really killing this role, or whoever it is. It's so dope how they play off of one another. So
absolutely. I mean, although I don't like villains, I always like the good people because I want them to win. I would want everybody to win, but when the villain wins at the expense of somebody else and they do it so underhandedly, it's like I can't rock with it. I mean,
It's even more interesting when they turn into a villain and you understand why it made them go that direction. Like for example, Killmonger. Like when he explained his story, he didn't want to necessarily have the villain type mentality, but it's like, look at everything was happening to him. How could you not kind of redirect and go into that direction with that? So it's like, dang, like you hate him, but you feel bad for him because he's like, you know what he's going through. But at the same time, he's just killing the role, and it's just that much more entertaining. So.
Exactly. He really did that role in the first movie. I still haven't seen the second one, so please don't spoil it for me.
The second one was good.
So. Thank you. That's all I need to know, that it was good.
Team Star all day. You see it on the hoodie. See it on the hoodie. You see the
I
eyes.
love that. I need that. I need that hoodie
My
though.
lady bought this for me.
And yes, I love Angela Bassett as well. I loved her since the Jacksons. She was the perfect Katherine Jackson. And then Tina Turner. Woo.
Oh yeah, that.
But Angela Bassett is on this show called, I think, 911 or something like that.
Yeah, I've seen a couple episodes.
I haven't seen it, but for her to be the highest paid actress on a television show, that's badass.
Angela's iconic. You know, that's AP.
And she deserves more awards than she has been, nominated for. Yeah, I don't like the villains either. I know that's right.
I'm just different. Like I said,
He's an anti-hero. That kind of makes sense too, because in the first movie, I understood where he was coming from a little bit. It's just I didn't like his approach, and I didn't like the mindset that he had. I mean, he was kind of understated and even overlooked and underrated, but I still didn't like the approach. It was just not right. So he's kind of on my bad side with that. So I still need to see this current movie to know if he changed.
it's very good, but yeah, definitely check it out.
Killmonger forever.
But
let me get to,
No, okay. Yeah, I was just saying. I just love how villains play well off of the heroes. That's what it is for me, and just how deep they get into that character and that role, and how they portray it so well that it's just like, yes, it just makes it that much more engaging to watch and to enjoy. So that's all that is.
Exactly. And yes, she did slay the Tina Turner role.
Oh, yeah.
It was like a clip from the movie that came up on my feed on YouTube a few days ago, and it was after one of those fights, and she ran out of that hotel and went to a Ramada Inn across the highway. And she introduced herself. She didn't have any money. She only had a Metro card and probably about 30 cents in her pocket.
Room and stuff.
And the guy was kind enough to let her stay there for a few days and not have to worry about paying for the hotel room at the Ramada just to get away from Ike.
They were scrapping. Like, it was bad.
Ooh, it just makes you kind of like imagine how much worse it might have been in real life.
Oh yeah, I can only imagine. Hey mom, what's going on?
Oh yeah, that's your mom. Hey yeah. Mom.
It's a family affair. My mom, my aunt.
Come on, how are you? Welcome in. You produce an amazing son right here. You better be proud. I would be proud. All right.
Yeah, Angela Bassett is a Leo too. I always forget that.
She is, and that's another reason why I loved her. The only thing I did not agree with was when she cut her gorgeous hair and waited to exhale. I didn't like that. Why would you cut your hair? That beautiful. I'm trying to get that. I'm working on it. I'm en route, but it was down to here, and you cut it. And many women like me are killing to have it.
She got it right back. The next movie. What was the next after that? Stella.
Stella got a groove back, and even then, it still was maddening. That was a triggering scene for me. Her cutting her hair. I'm like, why the hell would you cut that beautiful long hair?
Because she knows it's gonna grow back like that. It's like a chia head. You put water on it. Seconds later, boom.
Well, she's blessed like that. For me, it takes a little bit longer, so I have to put in some certain agents to make mine, catch up. You know what I mean?
That's how it is with this. Like this, I literally, when I trim it, it's growing back as my barber's trimming it. He's like, hey, I'm like, man, I don't know. It's just the genetics and stuff.
You've been blessed. Hey, Mama 4 boys, welcome in. It looks like it's your first time here, so if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the like button and share this out. Share this out with your network. But let me get to my questions before it's too late. So, how did you come up with your channel name, Big Daddy Beard Gaming Productions? Although we're going to get to how when you changed it next. But how did you come up with your name originally?
So, back when I first started playing PlayStation, I was trying to create an account, and they give you different selective names to choose from. They give you like a suggestion box. So I was trying to think of something like creative and different, and I couldn't come across anything, and I got stumped trying to. And I was looking at some of the suggestions. I was like, I don't like any of these. They're not for me. So I just kind of like, gave it some time, and I was like, something will come along. And so I remember one night I was watching the MTV Music Awards, the Video Music Awards, and I remember they had this segment on. It was Beavis and Butthead. You know how they do those like virtual simulations where they have the characters and stuff give the award. And so Butthead, he was like dressed up in like the Hugh Hefner role. He was sitting in the chair with the fireplace, and you got Beavis over there, like, like adding more fuel to the fire. So he's looking real suave, got his hair all chilled in, and he had initials BDB. And so, he's going through his monologue and stuff. He's like, I'm getting ready to announce the award. Butthead talks on the show. If you guys ever watch Beavis and Butthead, he talks and stuff.
Right.
So he was getting ready to announce the award and stuff. But, during the time with MTV Music Awards, they always had that segment where people could interact by calling in and voting on who they think was going to win the video. And so he's telling everybody to do that. He's like, look at the drop menu. You can vote on who is going to win the video between this person, that person. He's like, or you can just vote for me, Big Daddy Butthead. And I just remember like falling asleep, and I just started cracking up like, that is funny. I like that. BDB, Big Daddy Butthead. So I couldn't get it out of my head. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to go with that. But then I started thinking to myself, I'm like, all right, I'm not using the butthead part. Why would I call myself that? So now I'm thinking, okay, what can I replace that with? And all throughout school, because for those who don't know, I actually like developed a full-grown beard at the age of 14. I just kept like messing with it and cutting it. Like there was a point in time where I actually had like the shaft sideburns, like they were like big pork chops all the way out to here. I used to walk down the street, have theme music playing and everything. But I didn't realize my beard was fully coming in, so I kept messing with it. So eventually I just let it grow in all the way, and everyone would always compliment me on it. Like, oh, your beard is nice. Like, what are you doing? Like what type of materials or what, chemicals? I'm like, not using nothing. It's just natural. So, I mean, if dollar store soap and water, that counts as the elements, then that's about it. So I wasn't doing nothing special. So long story short, I decided, you know what, I'm going to throw the beard in there since I'm always getting praise about it. So then I just put it all together. Big Daddy Beard. And that was it. And then, with the channel, once I started that and I went full-fledged with it, I just wanted to incorporate it around the things that I specialize in. So, which is gaming and advertising and promoting for not only myself, but for others who had God-given talent, just like myself, to showcase what they're doing. Because again, my whole thing is coming from nothing to something. So I want people to kind of look at my journey and everything I've done so far since being on this platform and just look at it as inspiration. Like you can do the exact same thing. It doesn't take a lot. Just use what little you have to make a big impact. And since I've done it, it's been a blessing. So that's how the name came about.
That is amazing. And I love that name too. I loved it. I was like, Big Daddy Beard. I'm like, I'm so here for it. So, of course, since then, at some point recently, you had a slight name change from Big Daddy Beard Gaming Productions to BDBGP. Can you tell us what led to this name change? Oh, and before I forget, when you were telling that story, this one, he said cap. I don't know what that means. I don't know if he's saying you should put on a cap or whatever, but that's what he says. He says cap. I'm like, do you need a cap to put on your head? But I like it here the way it is, personally.
I'm trying to say that's not the story, but that actually is the story. But to also add to that too, it's a deeper meaning behind the name. Because a lot of people, I remember when I first started and everybody heard the name, they just started thinking, oh, what you type of some type of exotic male dancer and all that? I'm like, no, none of that. Come to the stage, Big Daddy Beard. No, it ain't none of that. No. It's just a play on words, just having fun with it. But the deeper
I kind of thought it was a little something else to it too. But then I was like, well, if he's naming himself that, he better at least be handsome. If he's gonna be naming himself that, I'm just saying. No, and come to find out, you exceeded all expectations.
I thank y'all. But no, seriously, it was just a play on words. I just wanted to do something fun, something different, something creative that a lot of people wouldn't necessarily think of. But a deeper meaning behind it, and a lot of people don't know this, is that big represents the mindset that I have. because my mom and my dad, they always taught me at a young age, no matter what you do in life, do it way big. Never think little. Always think bigger, better, and beyond. So with anything you do, always go to the next level with it. Don't just half-ass it. Don't just try to do it. Just do it. So I always kept that mindset with any and everything that I ever did in life. Even still to this day, I still practice that mentality, and it's instilled in me. So that's where that comes from. The daddy part, even though I don't have any children of my own, a lot of my friends and family, they kind of look at me as like a father figure because of just, they always tell me how motivational, inspirational I am, how I'm such an influence to helping them turn themselves around and, just get themselves together with everything that they're trying to do. Just the hustle, the mentality, just all the elements that you see a strong father figure does. They've always said I incorporated that with just my mentality and my way of thinking. So that's where that came from. And then the beard part is that's just kind of obvious, the fly and flashiness. Even though people like the clown, the grays and stuff like that, it's okay though. It's the flyest two-tone salt pepper beard you've ever seen. So
it is fly. We can't lie about it. It is what it is. If they can't, if they can't handle it, then that's on them. But get into it.
Yeah. So that's what if you really want to break it down, that's the bigger meaning behind.
So the acronym stand for the name, but why did you shorten it to the acronym?
So one of my mentors, and big shout out to him, his name is Runny Egg. He's one of those content creators that helps people with building their channels and giving them tips and suggestions on what to do to help elevate and grow as a YouTube content creator. He's one of my mentors on here. And I remember him telling me that they just recently incorporated this new rule where if you have too long of a name, they want you to shorten it, because what happens is it makes it really hard for people to connect and get in touch with you, especially when there's newcomers onto the scene. Because you got to think about it. When you're typing in certain names, it's really hard to find people, especially if people have those same exact names as you. So he was saying, you have a really long name, Big Daddy Beard Gaming Promotions. And at first I didn't think anything of it. But then when I actually started, just one day I was just doing a manual search. Let me just look my name up real quick. I was like, you know what? I was sitting there typing. I'm like, man, there's a lot to type out. So I said, okay, how can I abbreviate it? Or how can I shorten it up to where it's a little bit easier? People still know it's me, and they're not having a hard time just trying to get connected to the channel. So I was like, you know what? Let me just shorten it with the acronym BDBGP. And ever since then, people found it a lot easier. Now, people who are already on this platform, they right off the bat, they knew it was me. A lot of the newcomers or people that I just recently started connecting with, they didn't know. But as people were coming through, they were like, wait, that's so-and-so. They're like, oh, that is you. Oh, I didn't realize you just shortened it. So they're like, you're using your abbreviation now and stuff. So I'm like, yeah, because even on my merch, it's the same exact thing. Like underneath, it says BDBGP right above the Big Daddy Beard Gaming Promotions. So yeah, I just wanted to make it a little bit easier. And since I've done that, it has been a lot more beneficial for everybody to look me up and stuff without having to type all of that out. So I'm just saving everybody some time and money by switching to Geico Auto Insurance. So.
And that gecko is so adorable. Too bad geckos can't speak in real life, because that would be kind of cute, especially if they all had British accents. But Il God 7 says, I was just hating a little bit. He did have a beard since we was kids.
I did. And everybody.
You had a beard. How young were you when you started growing a beard?
So it started coming in around 13. And I didn't realize it because, again, I just kept messing with it. So eventually, by the time I hit about 14 going on 15, I just was like, all right, I see what it's trying to do. So let me just apply some water and just let it just do its thing. Before you know it, just sprouted full grown. It gets wider than this. It's just that I cut it down, because if I let it come all the way, I look like a caveman, and I didn't want to do that. I want to at least keep it clean and preserve some youth. But yeah, I've had it started coming in around age 13.
13, that is amazing. And I guess that's where it gets to be a little bit harder to go to places and worry about getting carded, because sometimes you probably might not get carded as much as your friends did when you were younger.
I don't even think I got carded once. Everybody was like, have a good time, sir. I'm like, thank you. I had a real squeaky kid voice. They're like, oh, maybe this is how he talks. All right, yeah, let him in. So I'm 13 years old in nightclubs and stuff. And, hey, what's going on? This is it's nice. Yeah, let me get a Shirley Temple. No car or nothing. So.
Oh no, dang, Angie just breaking you all. We're a hairy family.
We are the
like, really? Does Life Magical Journey know that?
Yeah, she knows.
Is she ready for that?
Ain't got no choice but to get ready. So we're like, what's that Disney movie? Pixar, The Croods? That's what we are. So
wow, that is so interesting. And what is her sign?
Oh, my lady, she's a Virgo. She gets mad because I call her a Leo Jr. because I said Virgos are just Leos.
Yeah, I remember that. On a Virgo?
Yeah, she's a Virgo. And it's so funny too because I remember when I first met Joe and Chrissy from Keeping Up with the Griffins. When they told me their sign, I'm like, how crazy is that? I'm like, both my lady and I are Leo and Virgo. So they're like, really? I'm like, yeah. So it's dope how many couples I've met so far that have the same signs as us. If I'm not mistaken, I think Brown Girl Bella and Rod, same thing, Leo and Virgo. So it's really dope. It is dope. Small world.
It surely is. And I tend to be scared of that because I don't know what men Virgos are like other than just the few ones I've met. Female Virgos are a little on the high-strung side for me, but
nah.
A little high-strung, but I love them. I love me some Bella because that's my girl. I love me some Bella. That's goals for me to be just as cool as Bella. And then Chrissy, I love me some Chrissy from Keeping Up with the Griffins. She's my thug buddy. We can be thugging it out because I don't say I'm a thug. I just show you. I'll just show you.
That's us. We just cool, calm, and collectors. Don't rattle the cage, and we won't.
Exactly. And then who else is Life's Magical Journey? I need to get to know her a little better. And then who else? I think Coco is a Virgo as well. I love some Coco TV. I love her. She's also near goals for me, just like Bella is.
Even Warriors, he's a Virgo.
And I love that Drew is he's the sweetest Virgo I've ever met.
Their son's a Virgo. I didn't know that. That's what's up.
Huh?
Their son, Drew, he's a Virgo.
Yeah. Don't be disrespectful to us Virgos now. I'm just saying, the male Virgos I met makes me want to stay away from them. But those are just the ones I met. I'm not saying all of them. But I'm looking at the others like,
Yeah, but I think between us Leos and Virgos, we're the most compatible. Like as far as like all the zodiac signs that I've seen that are with compatibility to Leos, Virgos are at the top of the list. I forgot who's next, but I know Virgos are definitely next.
So it's Leo, then Virgo, then Libra, then Scorpio, and then Sagittarius.
Yeah, and then Capricorn.
Oh, I'm staying away from all Capricorns. Just keep them over there.
My mom's a Capricorn, but she's...
Well, your mom's the exception. I love your mom, but the others, keep them way over there.
Yeah, they are.
But she keeps you grounded with her earth sign.
Yeah, she definitely does. She keeps me level-headed, keeps me on my toes. Like I said, I love her to death, and everything she's been doing for me since we've met, and just being there, the love, the support, it means a lot to me. So I just make sure I always return it. So yeah, just being with her has been an absolute blessing so far.
Absolutely. And then Angie says they are definitely perfectionists. And it's weird because I know Virgos can be perfectionists, and then I find that characteristic within myself as well, and I'm not a Virgo.
Yeah.
I don't even believe I have Virgo placements at all in my chart. And yet I'm a perfectionist.
We're definitely perfectionists. That's one thing, but we do it in a very creative way. You know,
we love her to life. Well, yeah, of course. She seems like a lovely young lady, and you better be treating her well too, Big Daddy Beard.
Yeah, everybody done got on me and stuff. They like, treat her right. We want invitations to the wedding. Look, done and done. So
well, I hope I get one too, because you already know me, because I love it. So I want to be there. I only went to one wedding in my whole life. I used to usually say I've never been to one, but that changed in August of last year. So I want to go to more weddings so I could sit in the back and with a little Kleenex and be like, my baby's all grown up.
All right, you know, it's funny. I had a dream one night. I was just envisioning like what our wedding would look like between Life and I could just already see like everybody just like cracking jokes and tearing up. I'm just like, oh my god, I can only imagine just how it's going to be. So it's funny because like everything I envisioned, it always like come to reality. So I feel like that's exactly how it's going to be. It's going to be dope, but it's going to be that vibe that I want, and then I definitely looking forward to that.
Okay, so you were recently nominated for 2 Meet and I Awards. You were nominated for Best Gaming Channel and for Best Catchphrase. Congratulations on your nominations. How does it feel to be acknowledged for your gaming content on YouTube as well as your impact for such an intentional yet sincere and heartfelt salutation as a catchphrase?
Wow. Well, first I'd like to thank God and the Academy. But honestly, the catchphrase one really caught me off guard. I was not expecting that because I knew people liked it, but I didn't realize how many people were gravitating towards it. And I remember someone asked me too, like, it might be your question too, like, where did it come from? Honestly, I was just streaming one day, and I think it was a lot of people coming in, and everybody was just having fun and showing support and stuff like that. And it just like popped out on the fly. I was just like, what's going on, everybody? How you feeling? How you living? And then I started thinking about it. I was like, I like the way that sounds. That's cool. It's different, you know, and it definitely like makes people like feel good to hear that. Cause you don't, everyone just does the hello, how you doing? How are you? Stuff like that. Good day. Be well. You know, those same ones that you hear all the time. So it's like, it's a breath of fresh air to hear that. Like, wow, how am I feeling? How am I living?
You might want to watch out though. Your friend said he's gonna try to DJ your wedding, your reception, and not play any 112. He said,
wow.
I want to keep an eye out. I'm just saying.
Wow. Well, the minute Jagged Edge comes on, I'm taking the needle off the record. Now I'm playing. We're gonna play both. We'll play both. We'll play both.
What if life wants to hear Jagged Edge?
I can see Warriors doing that too, just getting everybody hyped up and stuff. Then 112 Gary come on, and before you know it, he just master mixes and blends in Jagged Edge. Like war. Like really?
You better not turn 112 off the moment Peaches and Cream comes on, because that's my jam.
Yeah, even Dance With Me. You turn Dance
With Me, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they had another song called You Already Know.
Yeah, that was on what's it called? The 4th album.
Yeah.
So yeah. No, but yeah, we gonna play both. Like I said, I love Jagged Edge. But I just, if I had to choose between the two, I'm gonna go. I grew up on 112. So,
me too. I mean, I grew up on both, but you know.
Yeah, because Jagged Edge is kind of like it's like I want to say like a spinoff of 112. Yeah, I think 112, they're one of the founding fathers of like the R&B groups. Them, Drew Hill, Shy, so many different ones. So it's like they paved the way for groups like Jagged Edge and stuff. It's because it's not like Jagged Edge has been on the scene forever. They came out, they did their thing, but we all came up on 112. We can't ignore that. But like I said, I love them both though. They both make great music. But if I had to, I'm gonna lean a little bit more to 112.
I don't blame you. And don't forget, there's one other group that you left out that paved the way for all those others you named.
Which one?
Boyz II Men.
Oh yeah, that Boyz II Men. They're in Mount Olympus somewhere. They got their own stature and stuff like that. When it comes to people like that, like Michael and Prince and all them, they're excluded because they live in their own valley and stuff. Michael Jackson got his own album certification. Ain't nobody ever going to top what Mike did. You got gold.
What is his album certification?
You got gold, platinum, diamond. Then you got Michael Jackson. Certified MJ. Because until somebody tops Thriller, that's a certification in its own. How many people do over 100 million on just one album? A 9-track album at that. So again, You ever play that game Mortal Kombat 2? Remember when you first start, it shows Shao Kahn hanging off the top of the cliff and stuff like that. He just chilling.
Yes, and it was so scary.
Yeah, looking like King Kong. And then it
Yes.
scrolls down and shows you all the people that you got to fight. That's Michael Jackson up there just hanging.
Wow.
And everybody else, that's diamond, gold, platinum, aluminum, silver, bronze, however the order goes.
Aluminum.
Oh, yeah. And I'm talking about the cookout plastic glad wrap aluminum. So
if anyone deserves to one day hit Michael Jackson status, even with just one album, I can show you exactly who that person is.
I don't think it's ever going to happen. Oh, Mariah. I mean, honestly, if you're going to be technical, you got to say Whitney.
But Whitney doesn't have as many albums that's diamond. Well, she probably has. She don't have as many albums that's diamond as Mariah. Mariah has like Music Box and Daydream. They're diamond. Whitney has Whitney Houston, I think, and then Whitney might be diamond, and then she had the Bodyguard soundtrack. I know that's diamond.
Whitney's definitely diamond. There's no question about that. But
it's just that Mariah did her work with just her own music. Whitney did her own work, but then she also got a little help from that soundtrack.
Very true. Very true. And I mean, Prince, he's up there too. You could, but
yeah,
it's Mike though. Like War said, he made Thriller.
I know. It's like when you think of like albums that are diamond, the first one you got to think about is Michael. You got to think of Thriller. You got to think of what other albums of his were diamond? I think Bad Diamond.
Mm-hmm. You got to think about that triple threat. You had Off the Wall, Thriller, and then Bad. It's hard to top that.
I love Off the Wall, and Off the Wall is a very underrated album in my opinion.
Very.
And my favorite song from that album is "Working Day and Night" because it makes me think of me right now, working day and night.
It is. Name one artist that can top those three right there. Those three albums. That's what that is. That's a balanced breakfast that you see on those '90s commercials. Remember, they had the cereal box and the bowl and the little orange and the Pop-Tart. And then be that picture of orange juice. That's what those three Michael Jackson albums are right there. And then, we can't forget about Dangerous too. That was right after. So
yeah, Dangerous was right after, but by then he was kind of dealing with some controversy.
And was still killing it.
He was still killing it, but he was dealing with some controversy.
He was.
And that kind of overshadowed him a little bit. And then History came out after that.
And he just said, look, I'm back. He's 2 words, I'm back. He said, y'all forgot who I am.
Exactly. It's probably never going to happen again. MJ's the king. I don't think it will happen again either because people aren't even buying albums anymore. It's all streaming and it's just not the same.
If it was going to happen, it would have had to happen at that time. Now,
right. So, right. And it's like the closest person that could potentially achieve that at, back then, who could not necessarily catch up, but they can hold their own, I say, was Mariah. Because she had the Music Box album that sold over 32 million copies. And then Daydream sold over 20-something million copies.
I'll say Prince, too.
How many albums of his are diamond?
There's quite a few. Prince had that catalog.
I love me some Prince. He's the only man that could pull any woman he wants, wearing some heels and some flares, like wearing some what kind of pants those he's wearing?
The assless chaps.
And the assless chaps too, because I love those as well. He could do it. Yeah, I love his Invincible album too.
Oh, I love that album.
Prince could have, but see, Prince was more of an artist and not so much that type of artist that was into the accolades like that. He was more so into the art itself of music.
You're the issue. You turn your name into a symbol.
He turned his name to a symbol because the label owned his actual name, so he had to change it so he could continue to make music. And I don't know if that was also dealing with him changing labels or whatever, but
oh yeah, definitely that. But even still, just to be a symbol And still,
And he chose a symbol because it's hard to pronounce a symbol.
yeah, that's like seeing the McDonald's arches wherever you go. You see that symbol, you know that's Prince. So it's
Yeah. I thought Chris Brown could have been the next MJ, but hell no. Nope. And nope. Chris Brown could be the next Bobby Brown, but no, not the next Michael Jackson. Nope. And nope.
Yeah.
Nobody can be the next Michael Jackson. Nobody.
There can only be one Mike.
Chris Brown will be the next Bobby Brown. How about that?
And I like Chris. His music ain't here.
I don't like him.
Huh?
I don't like him, but I know you do.
I mean, I like young Chris when he had the
I liked him when he was 16.
Yeah, the Colgate Crest Kid smile, and he had the short military haircut and stuff, looking like he was fresh out of the academy.
Yeah, I like that Chris Brown, but nope.
Yeah, twitching and stuff in his interviews and everything, just looking like he needs a bump or a hit. Honestly, the last album I liked from Chris was probably the Heartbreak on a Full Moon. That was a good one. After that, it was just like he had some like hit and miss ones, but I need Chris to go back to that first album, that Exclusive, which is my favorite album. I need Chris to go back to that.
Yeah, the second album, Exclusive, was good. The last album from him I liked was Fame. After that, I'm like, no more.
Yeah, it was like the stock market. It went up and down. He has some good stuff, but like just too many of these double albums because there's just way too many songs in there that just sound the same. Yeah, Fame.
Yeah, he do a lot of the moves, but he doesn't have that same quality that MJ has. MJ was just very reserved, despite the fact that he can take over any room that he's in. He was still, into himself enough and humble enough to really do so organically. Chris Brown takes over room because he worked hard for it, but it seems like he has a problem with accountability too.
Yeah. Like look at all of Mike's videos. Just look at how he didn't even have to do a whole lot, but he did just enough to where you kept your eyes glued, and those moves were sharp. And Chris, and I was talking about this on my podcast, as much as people want to think Mike is just known for just those signature moves, no. The man can dance.
He can dance. We saw it in the Jackson movie. He can dance. And so can Janet. She can dance.
Yeah, even his behind the scenes
that can go toe to toe with Michael is Janet, in my opinion.
Yeah, even his behind the scenes stuff. Like if you watch some of his concerts and stuff and his videos before he started the tours and the shows and everything, just watching him just doing regular, just basic dance moves. It's a bad boy right there. So yeah,
right, absolutely. But how did it feel to be acknowledged by the Media Night Awards? I think we kind of got a little caught off guard.
It definitely felt good. Just to be acknowledged as just a gamer. And honestly, they more so call me an entertainer at this point versus just being a gamer. Because honestly, when I first started this, I really wasn't looking for any type of handouts or accolades. I was just doing it just because I was just having fun. I just wanted to get back to the essence of showing people how to just be creative, innovative, and have fun. I look at a lot of people on this platform and I just feel like most people are just kind of doing it to either copycat or they just really don't know what to do with themselves. They go live and it's you can kind of see they're not sure what to say or what to do or what to talk about. It's just you got to get back to just having fun. Think about the 90s when we came up. We were outside. We were playing games. We were coming up with different stuff, all while chasing an ice cream truck. We were having fun. And honestly, we can get back to that. You just got to look at it for what it is and not so much people are treating this like a 9 to 5. I mean, if you want to look at it that way, okay, it could be that, even though it's technically not, but make it a fun 9 to 5. You don't really got no boss breathing down your neck telling you do this, go here, say that, do this. No, have genuine fun. Get creative. Don't what if yourself. Just get out here and do it. And don't think about what's going to happen. Just think about what it can become if you do it. But to be acknowledged by them was definitely a blessing. Again, the catchphrase one caught me off guard. I really didn't expect that one, but I still appreciate the fact that they love it And the fact that so many people love it. When I go in streams, it's gotten to the point where people are looking for it. They're like, don't you leave this stream without saying the catchphrase. I'm like, it's coming. It's coming. So, I mean, to be acknowledged for that is definitely just like an absolute blessing. Because I know there's a lot of content creators on here that do gaming. And I know they're much bigger names than me. But it makes me feel good because it's like, I know I'm not only doing something that's fun and it's inspirational, but it's making me stand out, because that was my whole objective to get onto this platform. I wanted to stand out. I didn't want to just be looked at, okay, he's just another gamer. I see a lot of them doing the same type of stuff, or they, of course, understand why, because they have a certain community and everything, so they tailor to certain games. But I wanted to open people's eyes to showing them the whole world of gaming, showing them different varieties, stuff they've seen, stuff they haven't seen, stuff they didn't even know about. I've gotten so many responses like, I didn't even know this was a game, or this is dope, or the way you do this is. So I definitely love it. And it's made me an even better entertainer. So to be acknowledged for that, even though I didn't win, I was a little bummed out about it. But I think that loss has now just fueled me to just get even more creative, even more innovative with what I'm doing and what I'm bringing to the table.
Absolutely. And I know that you're going to continue to wow us, elevate your game, and you're going to be a Media Night Award winner. But it is amazing that you're nominated, for a Media Night Award.
Oh, yeah. I even told people, I was like, even if I don't win, just to be acknowledged, because I know they know a lot of people. They have a very big community. And big shout out to both of them. But still to just be mentioned amongst all these people who've been doing this longer than me and who have established themselves as full-fledged content creators, that means a lot. So I'm like, wow, like, you love me. You really love me.
Well, of course, everybody loves you. Who wouldn't,
Yeah, that's from Jim Carrey, The Mask. So I always love that line. He used to crack me up with that.
Exactly. With your channel being a gaming channel, you live stream a plethora of games, including interactive games where other content creators are often appearing on your channel as guests and participants to the games. Which game is from your channel is your favorite game, and why?
I feel like
you gotta pick one.
I gotta pick one.
You gotta pick one.
Oh, I like how you hit me with the Jeopardy Daily Double. You kept that well hidden right there. That's a good one. Do I get the theme music at least? My favorite collaborative game.
Favorite collaborative game, favorite solo game. You could do it like that.
Okay. Solo and collaborative. Oh, wow. I got a huge catalog. Okay. Collaborative, I'm going to say the one I did with my youngest brother. For those who don't know, I got two brothers, but the youngest one, Sebastian, he goes by Cheech. He actually has a channel here too, House Manager Games. If you guys get a chance, check that out. But we did this collaboration for this game called The Blob 2. And it's crazy because we were just like chilling, vibing out. I actually let him take the lead, because normally I usually take the lead and then I'll have somebody join in, but I let him rock out because I was already acclimated with the game. He never played it before. So I was playing second in command. And so as he's playing, we're just chilling, we're vibing, we're listening to the music. Because basically, long story short, it's one of those games where you have this little character and you got to basically paint the town that's been stripped of all of its color. So as you're getting all the different colors, you can mix them. You can just use one solid color. But when you use each color and you're painting everything back, what happens is you start hearing different music. And it's dope because, like, for example, when you use your color blue, it plays jazz. If you use brown, it does hip hop. If you do like yellow, it's like eclectic, like funk, soul. Like each color has a different musical genre behind it. And then as you mix it, it blends each color. So if you go from blue to red, you'll hear the saxophone, and then you'll hear it switch off to the flute. And it's kind of dope because it just kind of reminds me of the Battle of the Beats thing that I've been doing with the podcast.
Right.
So that one is definitely my favorite. And would you believe that right now, just the other day, I just found out it just hit over 3,000 views. And we did that video a year ago. We didn't even have all the proper equipment. We just set it up. You couldn't really hear like our audio that well. I mean, you could still hear us, but not entirely like how you can do it now. But for us to do that video and for it to reach where it's at right now, that was amazing. So I've got to definitely recommend that one and say that was my favorite collaborative one. And we were just having a ball. And everybody came in, they were just like, I've never seen this game. What is this? Because it's dope. People were like, I'm getting ready to take a nap right now. I'm vibing to the music as I'm hearing it. And he was just like picking his favorite colors and just letting the music rock. He was like, I'm really enjoying it. So definitely. So that one is my favorite collaborative one.
So the favorite collab is the game with your brother?
The game with my brother, the Blob 2. If you guys want to check that video out, it's in my playlist, Just the Two of Us. That's a playlist that's tailored to me playing with different people that I know, friends, family, and YouTube content creators that I know that game just like me. We find the same type of games that we have, and we'll just play it together, and we'll just rock out and vibe with everybody. Like Warriors, I've actually done a couple streams with him as well, so he's another one I've done some collabs with. But yeah, that's my favorite out of everything I've done, collaborative with someone. Solo. Oh.
Yes. One game, solo.
One game. Oh.
It'll be all right.
Oh. I see where you get the Honorable Angelina at. That's the judge part. You want the oath right there. Can I at least put my hand on the Bible and tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Exactly.
Solo. Oh my God. Okay. I do got one.
I'm gonna share the screen. I'm gonna let you take over the screen. I'm gonna grab my battery.
Okay. Solo was this game called Concrete Genie. Sounds like a weird name, but I love it because it's this kid who is an artist, just like myself. And, you know, he's doing all different types of drawings. He's sketching, doodling. He loves what he does. And so he lives in this very quiet town, and everyone in the town is very distant. They keep to themselves, you know, and he's got to deal with the pressures of being bullied by the people in the town, mainly the kids who are, you know, harassing him, giving him a hard time. They're clowning his artwork and everything that he does with his skill. Like he's realized what his God-given talent is, but everyone else doesn't see that, and they give him a hard time and just, you know, continue to just mess with him and stuff. And so what ends up happening is these bullies get a hold of his sketchbook and they see all the stuff he's doing, and they end up tearing his stuff out and causing it to like fly all around the place. So all his pages are getting lost in the wind. So he's trying to retrieve everything, but as he goes to retrieve them, he comes across this lighthouse. And as he's in the lighthouse grabbing some of the pages that ended up going inside, magically out of nowhere, the images that he creates in the pages come to life. So now as they're coming to life, they're helping him, and they're basically alerting him about this threat that's getting ready to come and take over his town. And so now it's up to him to use those artistic elements that he's created to stop the threat. And what they did is they gave him this magical paintbrush that he now uses and wields different colors, and he creates different images. So as you're going through the game, you're not only painting and drawing, but you're getting creative and imaginative with those same elements that helped him craft his skill as an artist. And as I'm playing, I'm just so intrigued with it because I'm like, oh my God, like this is me. Mine is like the bullying and stuff, man. Nobody like bullied me, but I used to have people that praise my stuff. They more so criticized and shaded it more than they praised it. And it used to bum me out at times. I used to get a little frustrated by it, but ultimately it didn't stop me from still doing what I love and just being a full out artist. And again, the way I look at it is art is life. Life is art. What people don't realize is everything in this world correlates to something artistically, from a flower blooming to a tree growing to someone building a construction or a blueprint, like an architect, or even just a natural skill like sports, theater, content creating on YouTube. Anything you can think of formulates around art. And it's so dope. So that game definitely stood out to me because I just felt like I could relate to that in every single way. Even that character. And then towards the end of the game, when they see that his skill is unmatched and it's actually he's using it for the better of good, now they all love him and they praise him. And I'm like, it's kind of like me. So that one I just had to think about. So those two definitely.
That is wonderful. You definitely have a vast selection of games to me. I mean, I'm not a gamer like that, but some of y'all are making me consider getting back into gaming. Like I've been trying to get my brother to find my games in the shed where we lived growing up because he's still there and I'm not. And I'm like, I need you to find my games and send them to me because he was a big PlayStation head growing up and now he switched over to the dark side.
What's the dark side?
Xbox. That's the
no! I gotta put my hoodie.
And then and I had to find this out the hard way because when I went to Tennessee for family things, he showed me that he actually had an Xbox. I'm like, an Xbox? Since when? You've been PlayStation all these years. You had PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, and then you switched to Xbox? You know I had to pinch myself. I'm like, and he said it had better graphics. So we played the Xbox. I wanted to see what he was talking about because I never played an Xbox before. I was more of a Nintendo girl myself. But I knew what PlayStation gave because we grew up playing it. But Xbox? And it didn't impress me. It did not impress me at all. And look, Warrior agrees. He says, ew, Xbox.
Yeah. You know, I told somebody this, and all the Xbox people that I know got mad at me, including my cousin Travis, who's the one that was the one motivating me to start this channel. He still gives me mess about it to this day. But I told people, I said, the real reason why COVID started, it wasn't because of what happened overseas. It was because of that damn Xbox. And he was like, oh, really? That's how you feel? I said, yeah, that COVID box. That's what started it all. Yeah, I got everybody to jump in, and now look, everyone that got sick. Now the virus is spreading. Now we got to mask up. But as soon as PlayStation came back around, everything got better again. So it's just like, you know, because I know the Xbox people want to hate me for that one. Shots fired.
Oh my God, you all are so silly. I mean, it got better just because PlayStation released a new game.
I mean, look, let me show y'all something. Like, look at this thing of beauty.
Is that the PlayStation controller?
That's the PS5 controller.
Damn.
Exactly.
It's bigger now, or it's smaller, or it's a little both. It's bigger and smaller.
Yeah. You know, every time I see this, I think about that scene in Coming to America where that guy was showing Simeon Akeem all the stuff that he had in his coat. I got a hell of a hair dryer too. Check it out. That's what this is right here. This is a thing of beauty. It feels good.
PlayStation is life. I'm like, PlayStation is my second choice because I'm still a Nintendo girl. Honestly. But if I was really seriously into gaming, I would get a PlayStation way before I would ever get an Xbox.
Yeah.
That's just me. I think it's because I love Sony and I know what it's giving. But
yeah. Again, Nintendo is, like I said, Nintendo is like what we said with the music groups. You said, who did you say was, which group you say outside of Jagged Edge and 112?
Boys to Men.
That's Nintendo. Boys to Men, they're iconic, just like Nintendo. Nintendo is in a league of its own. We all came up on Nintendo. We can't hate or shade Nintendo whatsoever. Even with that new Mario Brothers movie that's going to come out and it's going to be amazing. We can't disregard Nintendo for being the founding father. Now, PlayStation, 112. Jagged Edge, Xbox.
Okay, next question. Okay.
Sorry, War. It had to be said.
So a while back, it was on one of your live streams. We had a conversation on your channel about dogs and cats. You stated that you dislike cats, but that you love dogs. What's your favorite breed of dog and why?
Wow, that's a good one. I would have to say, and I'm gonna base it off of my dog that I had before he passed away. His name was Zeus. I used to call him King of all the dogs because Zeus in Greek mythology was known as the King of all the gods. So he was mixed with pit bull and boxer. So I would
Ooh,
definitely.
box.
Oh, he was ferocious. So, but he was still very genuine and stuff. But very defensive. Like anybody he saw that felt or looked like a threat, he started growling like DMX on him. And everybody, oh, that's your dog. I mean, obviously he's standing right next to me. What he ain't my brother. I mean, what brother walks on all fours? But yeah, I love the fact that he that was such a different breed, and I wasn't used to it. I'm like, I've never seen a pit bull and a boxer mix. So definitely that breed right there. I like boxers, I would have to say.
So boxer. I have to see what a boxer looks like. I hope they got them boxing gloves on and they ready.
They're very lovable dogs. You know, very very cute and stuff like that. Only thing I didn't like about Zeus was he slobbered a lot and he would just be like shaking like the beast in Sandlot and just get all over the place. Like,
oh God. I hate that. That I hate, but I personally prefer dogs over cats too. It's just I also love cats though. Hell, Leo is a cat. A lion is a cat.
It is a cat, but that cat.
It took me aback when you said you didn't like cats. I'm like, what?
That cat gets an exception. Leo, these cats right here, they get an exception. That was the only one. I'm talking about them cats that just be laying on your couch, ain't did nothing all day, didn't clean up, didn't even pay no bills.
Dogs don't clean up either or pay any bills.
Oh, listen, if you train them right, dogs will do some stuff. Like I used to train my dog very well to do certain things, and he actually did it too. Like, again, they're very smart, very intellectual. People don't realize that about them.
Yeah, they're beautiful babies. Yes, I call dogs and cats babies too because they're babies to me. So
you move a cat in with you, he ain't doing nothing. He tells you straight up. He lets you know what the ground rules are before you even say them. He's like, look here, I know this your place, but I ain't doing nothing. I ain't cooking. I'm not cleaning. I'm not doing no laundry. I'm not even paying my half of the rent. So you better figure out something. Now, where am I sleeping at? That's cats.
There's two things that kind of deter me from ever getting a cat though. One is the hairballs. I can't deal with hairballs around the house or whatever. I don't know if they do it, but the cats I've met in real life, they don't do that either. They don't hack up hairballs. But just in case, I'm like, and then the second thing is I don't need animals that claw up my furniture. You gonna get your ass out of my house if you claw up my furniture, especially my sofa or my recliner or anything. Yeah.
That's only if you don't train them right. If you train them and show them the ropes early, they know. Like that's one thing I did with my dog. I spent a lot of time just building that bond because when we first got him, he was a puppy. He got a little aggressive as he got older, but I spent time with him and, got a chance to really build a bond with him and teach him a lot of different things and stuff like that. So over the course of time, not only he was already smart off the bat, but he got even more advanced after I was able to train him and put him in a comfortable state. So he knew, like when I knew he had to go to the bathroom, he would hold it. And he would hold it until I got to him to be like, all right, go ahead, I'll do your thing and stuff like that. Before he just let it fly everywhere, just piss all over the place like R. Kelly. But oh, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. Robert now. He lost.
Yeah, he's Robert to me.
Actually, he's just
Robert, just like Sparkle. She calls him Robert. So yeah, you Robert to me.
I call him Bob.
There you go.
Yeah, he lost the R, the Kelly, and the period. So
exactly. And then educating natural, you say, "Ew, I can't do slobbering dogs," and then she comes back and says, "Cats over dogs. They don't require walking. I don't have to pick up poop." But you have to clean up the litter box, though.
Yeah,
you're picking up the poop.
They don't always go to that litter box
with a bunch of litter,
Yeah, they don't always go to that box. That's the thing about cats. You walk in from a hard day at work, and the dog is there to greet you, show you love and stuff. Hey, what's going on? He don't tell you, but you can sense from his body language. He's ready to hang out with you. Hey, how was work and everything?
Be like, hey, how are you? I miss you so much. How was your day? I love that. Don't get me wrong. I love that too. But even if the cat is chilling for a little bit, they're not ready yet. I'm like,
the cat is like this.
I'm in my room too.
Yeah, this is the cat sitting there, just TV, Al Bundy. Yeah, we out of milk. Don't say nothing to you. I do too. What you been doing all day? I should be asking you that question. What I've been doing.
Yes,
What you been doing?
Angelina, that's why I don't have me either. Okay, yeah.
Oh, and if you have
I mean,
multiple,
I know cats can be a little nonchalant, but hey, I think it comes from us.
yeah, they
Us
don't.
CEOs, that is. It's
They
just
don't.
part of, we can be a little nonchalant. I'm okay with being nonchalant. I acknowledge it, but because I acknowledge it, I have every right to be. I just,
And I can't stand that creepy purring thing they do when they rub up against your leg and stuff, and they start making their whole body vibrate, like when you turn your phone off and stuff. That get off my leg! Why are you doing that? You know, like it's
I actually
weird.
like that. I think that's kind of cute. They're just trying to get comfortable with you.
No, I remember the last time, like when I was around a cat, it did that, and I'm like, wait, is my phone going off? I'm like, I know I got the sound up, and it was a cat just all on my leg, just get off me! Like, wait, what are you trying to say? At least with dogs, they you get it. They just do that, and they try to play innocent with it. It's just such a weird thing. Or they'll do that real annoying. Yeah,
I love the meow. It's the best part.
I don't like when they do it and they stare at me. Like I hate having staring contests with cats. Like, what the hell are you looking at? I don't know if you are like, what are you trying to say? You trying to fight? You trying to like call me out?
That's exactly how they think. It's like when you stare at them in their eyes, that's what they're thinking. They're thinking that you want to fight and that they're threatened.
I don't know what it is about cats. They all look at me like I'm short. Like this is like
How tall are you?
I'm about 5'10", but I'm looking at them like, what you want to do? Do something.
Not what you want to do. Wait a minute.
Yeah, I don't like that look. And then when they do the little head nod, like they bob into a beat, like, what's up? Where are you in your own litter box? Stop playing.
When they accidentally pee on your rug, the smell is no bueno. It doesn't matter who pees on the rug, it's no bueno.
And also, too, if something happens, middle of the night, you sleeping or whatever, somebody breaking and stuff, that cat ain't doing nothing. The dog, he ready to go. Like, oh, who's that? I'm on it. You know, ring 1010, all of that type of stuff. That same cat sitting there, come down here. Yeah, breaking. What you ain't doing nothing? Look, man, I'm good.
That's what you got claws for, cat. You better go over there and
The only beef they have with anything in the house is those curtains and stuff that you just bought, those new drapes that they tear up. Somebody break.
They better not rip up my damn drapes. They will go out along with those ripped up drapes.
Look, they break in, they walk right past. Hey, what's up? Yeah, the money's back there. Like, the bird just thanks. We like, hello. Just let them take my TV.
Pretty much. I'll dump a litter box over picking up poop. Dogs, you have to touch it and carry it around to you. Yeah, well, yeah, that part is pretty bad. But you still have to scoop up the litter box.
Cats are no help. When it's going down, nightclub type fight, your dog is ready to go. That cat is just sitting there. Yeah. You on your own, chief.
Exactly. So you are very clever with your wordplay and references, as well as comical. So have you ever considered going into stand-up comedy, even if it's on the side? Because you did mention before the show started, you do have 3 jobs, which we'll get into in a minute.
Where's my mom at? Because I already know she getting ready to say, I've been telling him that for years and he won't listen. I keep telling him he needs routine. Go up on stage. Go to the factory and live shows and all that. I'm just like, hey.
Might as well. I mean, what's wrong with you going up there? It's better for you to go up there than Chris Rock to go up there right about now, especially after that special.
Let me tell you about Will Smith. So,
that child is in a lot of trouble after that special.
we all knew it was coming, and can nobody be shocked or surprised by that? Everyone was waiting to hear his story for him to speak his piece on that. So we had to. Of course, he's going to do it in a comedic format. I mean, again, if people are going to take it that way, then they have no business watching comedy. Comedy is nothing but the truth in the form of laughter. That's it. If you're getting mad about it, if you're getting in your feelings, you have no business going to those shows. This is what they do. They are designed to make us laugh and entertain. So you can't get mad about what's said, about what they're doing. This is what they're supposed to do. The same thing with comedic acting. This is what they were trained to do. Why are people get upset? Why are everybody getting sensitive? I didn't like that joke. That's comedy. If you want more satirical type of stuff, if you want that stuff that's not funny, is not serious, then you need to go watch action movies or thrillers. And even sometimes they throw some comedy in the mix.
Yeah.
It's, again, this is what, and again, I love comedy. It's my first favorite genre out there next to horror. Horror is number 2, but comedy's number 1. I like to laugh. I'm goofy. I'm silly. I don't want to be all serious all the time. Even though I have a very serious look. Everybody says like, why you always look mad? I'm not. That's just my face. Rest your face. I ain't rest my face. I can't help that I look like my dad, and my dad always had that stern, angry, eternal look. I got that from him. But I have a very gentle side, like my mom. But it's comedy though. And this is what I tell my mom and my aunt and everybody that's giving me a hard time with it. I'm like, look, I look
like
at
this person, like Angie here.
Here's the thing. I look at some of the greats, some of my favorites, because again, I did this episode of my podcast about this, about comedy. I look at the greats who were just different. Anyone can go up on stage and say whatever and talk about whatever, but it's not too many that can really make you laugh in the form of storytelling. Think about it. Look at Bernie Mac. Look at
God rest his soul.
Yeah, rest in peace. Look at again, Eddie Murphy, guys like that. When you think about, I'll take Eddie Murphy for example. When you look back at those 2 classic back-to-back, Raw and Delirious. Delirious and then Raw. Look at how vivid the storytelling was and how funny it was, how we can still relate to that. Delirious is old, but that whole scene where he was talking about the cookout and stuff and his aunt falling down the steps and his uncle burning up the whole place and chopping down a half a tree and 2 gallons of gasoline, we can relate to that because people still do that to this day. It's so creative how you could form a great story and talk about it and make it so funny and entertaining. And the whole thing with the ice cream man coming and stuff, we can relate to that because remember, we used to be kids sitting there playing basketball or ball and jacks. We hear that jingle, even the remix that they did. And we went running Jesse Owens style to that truck. Like even if we didn't have money, we were trying to bum money off of somebody to get us the strawberry sundae or the turbo twister or whatever you want to go. So it's just like, if I'm going to do it, I got to do it in that fashion like the greats did it. Like I want to tell a story and I want it to be so imaginative and vivid and funny and creative to the point where I can keep it going and I can have that topic play off of the next one. I don't like the ones who just go up there and just say random stuff. Some of it's funny, but a lot of it's hit and miss. I'll give you a perfect example, Mike Epps. As funny as Mike Epps is in the movies and stuff like that, a lot of his stand-ups are very hit and miss because he just goes wherever, just says random stuff. He could go from talking about his kids doing something to then just, what was the one I was recently watching? He was talking about something about his kids did, and then out of nowhere he switches over and just brings up something about Ice-T and stuff. He was mimicking him or something like that, and it was just like it was funny, but it was so random. Like you just kind of just went in a whole nother direction. Where you go from talking about kids and them doing this and taking them somewhere, and this happened to just I love Ice-T and Coco and stuff, and then mimic. I was like, I didn't get that, but again. Those comedians that I just mentioned, like Damon and Jamie and Bernie. Again, you go back and watch their classic stand-up. That's why they don't do too many of them now. They don't really need to because they had those ones that were on such a high plateau, and it was so creative. Look at Bernie Mac with Kings of Comedy. Still, we love that to this day. Still, we laugh because he was telling a story.
Yeah, I wish he would have had his own special before he had passed.
Oh yeah. Definitely. But he didn't even need it. Even if he didn't do one, Kings of Comedy was just still so iconic, still to this day. Classic. So it's like, if I'm going to do it, I want to do it in that format. I don't want to just get up there and just say whatever's on my mind. Yeah, people could give me topics and stuff, but...
Yeah, that's what Angie said. They were giving you topics.
Yeah, but I really have to... I can't just talk about stuff that I don't know, or I can't really correlate to. That's one thing about my podcast, and this is what a lot of people love with it. I'm pretty sure that's probably one of your questions. But if you look at what I do with my topics on my podcast, this is all stuff that I'm talking about that I can relate to, that I know about, that I can put into a format to where everyone can also relate to it like me. And even if they don't, there's somewhere in that segment where they're like, oh, you know what? Okay, yeah, I do remember watching this, or I do remember seeing that, or I do remember that happened. And it gives them the opportunity to chime in and give their take on it. And I can still be myself. So, the podcast, I think, is probably like the closest thing to me being a comic in a sense. But I'm not going to entirely rule it out. I just got to be able to just be very vivid and creative with it. And I have to shape it based off of those iconic stand-ups that I love coming up. I don't want to just be a random person just get up on stage. I don't even know what the first thing to say. And I want to be one, and you bombing when they're like, woo, yeah. That's funny. When you doing too much laughing, more so than the crowd, yeah, it's time to get off the stage. So,
but sometimes when they're laughing, it kind of makes me laugh a little bit. So
I mean, it does, especially if they say something that they know is incredibly funny. They know everybody's gonna laugh. That's cool. But if they're like kind of stumped and they don't know what to say or do next, that's where it's just like an issue. It's like it has to flow like a river. Again, Delirious, Raw, Jamie Foxx on Mighty Security, Damon Wayans a stand-up. I forgot what the name of it was. Even like Dion Cole and some of his stuff that he's done recently. Again, like it just, if you really watch it and see how they're just flowing with it, and everything is just, it's so in sync. They can talk about one particular topic, make it funny, and then somewhere add in what the next topic is going to be, and then transition right into it. It's so smooth how they do it, and it keeps you watching versus just saying and just talking about whatever comes to mind and stuff like that. I don't know enough about politics, so why am I going to try to talk about that and put that in a comedic format? I don't. I mean, I could probably do a couple maybe impressions and stuff like that, but I don't know. I don't want to talk about stuff I don't know enough of. So that's where it's like I'm kind of like 50-50 with it. But who knows? Maybe I will down the road. But
for sure. Welcome in Love and Live Show, and welcome in always Tam. Thank you all for being here. But if you do want to pursue stand-up at any point, let me know if you need management. I'm available. Let me know.
Yeah, I might have a couple managers. So yeah, definitely.
Exactly.
We'll see what happens.
But yeah, so you mentioned that you have a podcast. Tell us more about that.
So the podcast is known as the Debate Table. And basically what it is I come up with different topics that are fun, entertaining, engaging. But what's different with my podcast amongst the others is I give everyone the opportunity to get involved with the discussion, with the forum, because I like to get everybody's take and input on everything that we're talking about. It basically just gives everyone the opportunity to allow their voice to be heard, all while having a good time and just, talking about some of the stuff that a lot of people don't necessarily think about, or stuff that people have already talked about, but just don't get enough of an opportunity to really go all out with the discussion. So every single topic I pick is stuff that I've either heard people constantly debate about, I've heard them talk about, and I just wanted to put it into my perspective and put my own twist on it while getting everybody involved. So the way it started about was I was in a group chat with a couple of my friends and family, and I had mentioned it because we were talking about a lot of different stuff. And I'm like, we always debate on all these different things that we talk about. We should turn this into something on a level of like a podcast. And so they were all for it, but eventually it didn't end up coming into play because I think everybody's schedules got hectic, or I'm not exactly sure what happened. So I kept trying to, push the envelope with them. Like, yo, let's still do this. Let's get this off the ground. What's up? And it just kind of got to a point where nobody wasn't really saying much. Everybody kind of seemed stagnant. I guess people just weren't really ready to, I guess you could say people were talking a good game. And so, I'm like, all right, that's perfectly fine. But I just felt like a little voice in my head. I feel like God was just talking to me like, okay, if everyone's not ready to do it, why don't you go ahead and get it started on your own? I'm like, that actually isn't a bad idea. And so I just sat back for a minute. I spent like a whole year just researching, just watching different podcasts that I love and know, like, Joe Budden's, Drink Champs, $1 Million Worth of Game. I even watched, a couple people on here who have podcasts, and I was just watching their setup and how they do everything, how they engage the audience, and just how they research and really make it entertaining and really keep people in tune with it and looking for more. And so I just took all of those elements. I just basically put it into a pot. I stirred it, Big Mama style. I even did the little gotta add that in there too. Y'all remember Big Mama be in that kitchen cooking with the flower dress and stuff, swaying back and forth. You don't even know what she's singing, but you're singing it because it just sounds so lovely. That So I put all that together. I got all my episodes together, all my topics that I wanted to talk about. I still have stuff on the way, and I just went ahead and just practiced a couple times until I was ready to actually get in front of the camera and start recording. And I'm glad I've done it because so many people love it. The people that do tune in, it gives them the opportunity to feel involved versus just hearing me just kind of just go on and on. And again, I like everyone to feel comfortable. Another one I watched that I really tailored my podcast to was LeBron James's HBO podcast. It's not, I guess you can kind of say it's a podcast in a sense it is, but it's called The Shop. And if you guys ever get a chance, go and watch that on HBO Max. Very, very dope. I just loved how he got different people together from all different aspects, movies, music, entertainment, sports, the arts, and how everybody's just all in one room. And, they're just going around the room talking about everything, telling stories, giving their take on whatever the topic is. And everybody's just, it's so vibrant and chill. And I was just like, that's what I want. I want that same type of energy. So that's what I went for. So I always give everybody opportunity to come up, regardless whether they're on the panel or in the live chat. Just let your voice be heard. And what's so amazing about it is there's no scrutiny. Nobody's being criticized or judged. You're going to have people that agree and disagree. You're going to have people that are neutral in between, but still, no one is putting anybody under the bus for what they're saying or how they feel about their opinion in regards to the topic. So very dope.
Yes, for real, for real. So when can we catch your podcasts?
So you guys know right now I started the Battle of the Beats, which was another idea.
We're going to talk about that in a minute. Mm-hmm.
So right now I've mainly been doing my episodes with that because I have a lot that are set up right now, and I want to definitely get those out as much as I can with all of the different people that I've been meeting. So I always set up all the events of when each episode is going to be. So if you guys get the chance, I always announce them, just before I go live. I try to tailor every episode 2 weeks apart. So again, with this next episode coming up, it's going to be a Battle of the Beats one. I'm on episode 4 right now, and I want to thank everybody that's been coming out and showing support to that because the turnout has been amazing. All the judges that have been up on the panel just enjoying the music, giving their take on everything. You guys know Angelina was on the first episode, which was amazing. That episode is almost at 400 views. I can't believe it.
Yes, I loved being on there.
Yeah. Couple people in here have been on it so far. My aunt, Love and Live show. My lady, she's been on there a couple episodes. It's just been really, really.
I can't wait to come back.
Oh yeah. What I've been doing for all the judges that have been a part of it so far, I've been sending out a list to everybody. So just look at the list. Let me know which episodes you want to be on, and then I'll get it all set up from there. Because a lot of times, some people can't make it for whatever reason. So I want to keep backup just in case.
Yeah, I might need to get. Can you send that list again?
Yeah, I'll definitely send it again because we're close to about like 20 episodes. But so far, a lot of the judges that came in, they've been telling me, all right, BDB, I want to do this, this, and this. I'm like, all right, noted. So yeah, I'll definitely send the list out again. But yeah, so like usually every 2 weeks is when I do the episodes. And right now that they changed my work schedule around, I'm going to be doing them on Sundays because I see it's a lot of traffic on YouTube during Sundays. Now that Sunday and Monday are my new days off. So before I was doing my episodes Thursdays or Fridays back when I had my days off.
Right, and that's what led to episode 3 kind of shifting.
Yeah, and honestly,
of the message,
Yeah, so I like this setup better now that it's Sunday. I know more people are coming in. I can definitely get a bigger audience and stuff, especially with more people that I'm starting to meet and connect with. So Sundays are going to be the episodes. Every 2 weeks, I'm going to be doing them. So definitely be on the lookout for that. And if you guys want to, if you go into the playlist section of my channel, just look for it. You'll see the Debate Table podcast, and you'll see all the episodes I've done so far. Just click on it and enjoy. And if you guys ever want to be a part of it, just pull up a chair. That's the slogan.
Yes, so you hear that? Go to his channel and check out the playlist for the Battle of the Beats. And don't forget to check out his podcasts as well. So you mentioned earlier how you're feeling, how you're living came up. So I'm gonna skip that portion of the question, but did the salutation originate on YouTube or from your personal life prior to becoming a content creator?
YouTube. Because I was always just going around just doing it. Hello, how are you? Great day. Lovely weather we're having. You know, the simple.
Lovely weather we're having.
Be well, be merry. So,
Be real.
yeah. So I got that from what's that movie, Demolition Man? Because they say that throughout the whole movie. Be well, be well. I liked it. But I was like, that's a little too much. Why are they making them sound robotic? Like, be a little more smooth with it.
Well, that's
You know?
how some people actually are. Some people sound a little more formal.
Yeah, but it's creepy though. Be well. Hey, whoa. I'm great.
Not creepy.
Yeah. They extend the hand out and then you shake and it's just like, that's too much. It's like, hey. So I never thought I was gonna come up with a catchphrase. Like again, everybody knows like a lot of stuff I say and do, it's just like a lot of it is just off the fly. Just like I said, I'm very creative. I'm always thinking of just whatever comes to mind. So I want to say it was probably going to be something I was going to eventually do, but I just didn't have any idea that it was going to become this popular. I'm glad you guys love it and enjoy it and say it on the regular. It's even funny when people mess it up because people are like, hey, how you doing? Where you going? I'm like, I love it, but it's such an influential thing for me. But I never in a million years thought I was going to like have a catchphrase like that people just gravitated to. But it definitely started when I was on YouTube. Again, I was just streaming one day. It just popped into my head and I was just like, I like this. And then, you know, everywhere I'm going, I'm saying it. People were just loving it. They're going back saying it. I never forget me and I, when they first heard it, they started abbreviating it with the HYF, HYL. And so I love that too. They're very creative.
I do it too.
Yeah. So I love it. Even the Griffins, they do it. There's a couple of people that do it. So I absolutely love it. And I do have merch coming out for that as well. So if anybody wants to get a How You Feeling, How You Living shirt, actually it's already available now. I just haven't printed out my own shirt yet because I've just been so busy with work and everything. But if you guys want the shirts, if you go on my Instagram, you'll see all of my artwork that I've done. It's posted up there. So just let me know and I can get it all printed and shipped out to you. I'll let you know how much the price is and everything. So
that is wonderful. Oh my goodness. I didn't know you had merch. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I feel like I've fallen off my game. I thought I knew everything.
Yeah, I wear my shirts. I alternate between all the different ones I have. So like in the beginning of my monologue, which a lot of people are like, man, it's pretty long, but you got it mastered though. I'm like I said, it's just all about professionalism. Like it's something I just mimicked, you know, as I started getting bigger and bigger on the channel and doing more streams. I was like, okay, I got to make sure that, you know, I'm able to say this and keep it intact. But yeah, every time I'm wearing my shirts, I always advertise what I'm doing. So again, like if anybody ever wants it, you know, all you gotta do is just hit me up and let me know. And then I go on the site that I have all my stuff available on. All I need is the address, payment. I ship it out to you. You get it within like a few days to like a week. So everyone that's purchased stuff so far, they absolutely love it. So I'm very thankful and grateful for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get me some merch. Woo! Especially since starting at work study. Yeah, it's about that time now.
Absolutely.
So you held the series premiere Battle of the Beats back in January, which I was a part of.
Yeah.
And how did it feel to have such a warm reception from the YouTube streets?
Wow. Yeah, I honestly, so just to kind of rewind a little bit, the series actually kicked off from the trilogy. It was a spinoff. So
it's a spinoff. I didn't. Ooh.
Yeah.
Dang, I'm falling off my game.
It's not. It's good. It's good. A lot of people don't know. So, you know, it's good that they're tuning in because now they get to hear the full layout of it. So fast forward, rewind a little bit. Battle of the Beats came about when I was in a group chat with my friends and family. So this is kind of, again, and people don't realize Battle of the Beats is just part of the Debate Table podcast. It's just additional that I added to it, you know, just to kind of keep the topics going. But because I'm such a huge lover of music, I wanted to incorporate that in there. So long story short, a couple of my friends and family, I found out do beats. And one day we were just talking, just regular. One of my friends, he sent a beat. And I knew he was a producer and stuff because I've had a long-term friendship with him for some time now. Big shout out to him. His name is Chavez. He goes by the name of it was Emperor Seas, but he changed it to King Koala. But yeah, big shout out to him. He doesn't really produce as much now. So, but he sent us a beat that he recently did. We all listened to it and we're like, this is dope. So then one of my other friends who I met through Seas, his name is Sam Carthen. He was actually in here too. BOE Gaming. That's his.
Yeah.
But he goes by the name, his producer name of KS Trappington. And he's actually going to be on episode 5. So you guys be ready for that. I'll let you know what the date and time is for that. So then, So then KS drops a beat. And again, I knew he was a producer as well because I met him through Seas. So now they're trading beats. So then my cousin Travis, who goes by Merge Baby, he was on episode 3 of the series. You guys know he was also on the trilogy as well. Speaking of that, there he is. So they're all exchanging, sending beats and sending us the links and exchanging back and forth. So then they're like, "Oh, snap! This is I'm like, is this turning into like a beat battle or something? Like, what's going on?" And as I'm listening to each one, I'm like, "Oh, this is dope." I'm listening to this one I'm like, "That's dope." So then I'm just like, y'all got some talent. And what's crazy is I didn't even know my cousin Travis did beats. I'm just like, I'm sitting there and I call him up directly. I'm like, so when the hell are you going to tell us you were a producer? Why are you? Yeah. Oh yeah. I got to get on him. I'm like, you holding this back? You ain't say a word to us. So he just starts laughing. He's like, yeah, I've been doing it for a little bit of time now. I'm like, hey, you should have said something. Like, and I'm going and listening to this stuff. I'm like, yo, this is really dope. So I'm just listening as everybody's just submitting beats, and I'm learning that everyone is like low-key producers, like in the shadows. I'm just like, I'm feeling some type of way. But then, of course, the creative gears in my head start turning. I'm like, hold on. I got this podcast. Everyone's loving it. I'm going to need more topics because the well's running a little dry with topics that I'm talking about. Because one thing I don't like to do with my podcast, I don't like to just talk about just random stuff. I want it to be a specific topic that I can really dive in and get people indulged in. Not just saying, oh yeah, so the Will Smith, Chris Rock incident. Everybody's talking about that. I don't want to talk about that. Let's talk about something that a lot of people know is definitely debate talk. Because people have given me suggestions and topics to talk about, and they're great, and I do appreciate them. But I tell them, can it be formulated into a debate to where you have opposing sides, to where you have people that agree, people that disagree, or people that are neutral? Because anybody can talk about anything and make it a topic, but if you don't have those 3 elements, there's no point in talking about it. It'll just be a regular podcast. And again, my podcast tailors around debates. So long story short, I'm listening to their music. The gears in my head started going. I'm like, you know what? Since I also do advertising and promoting, again, I love taking different elements and stirring them into that pot, Big Mama style. So I'm just mixing up the stew. I said, you know what? I'm going to start a segment and I'm going to add it to the podcast where I can get all of these guys who do music to come on, showcase their talent, help get their names out there, turn it into an all-in-one showcase, but make it in the form of a debate and a competition where they can face off. It gets people talking about it. And now people are coming in debating. Well, I like KS. I like him, but I'm kind of leaning towards Merge. I don't know. Merge is dope, but I think KS is a little bit doper. You see where I'm going with it?
Yep.
Everyone's like, that's genius to do that. So it started off as a trilogy. We did the first 3 episodes. Now, at first, a lot of the guys didn't want to do it. They were scoffing at it. They were just like, there was a few people that were down. They were like, that's pretty dope, Jay. Let's do it. But everyone else was kind of like, I don't know, kind of like low self-esteem or just not thinking it was going to take off. And I tell people, I'm like, when it comes to life, never what if yourself in a negative standpoint. Don't sit there and keep telling yourself, what if people don't like it? What if people aren't interested? What if people aren't feeling it? Do the opposite of that. What if they do? What if they do like it? What if it does?
An additional following? You can gain more followers.
Yeah.
Following can expand.
Yeah.
People will have eyes and ears on your content.
Yeah. I told them, what if in a positive way? So everything you're saying now, say the opposite of that. What if it does? And I told them that. I'm like, all right, look, whoever does want to get a part of this, we're going to do it. For those that don't, perfectly fine. The train is still on schedule. It's still on time. So I got the few people that were on board to do it. I got their music. We put it all together. I spent time getting everything intact. We just did it, and the turnout was bigger than I thought it was. The video, the first one is almost at 600 views.
Oh my gosh, 600?
600 is nearing that. And then
Ooh-wee.
and even with like the low sound quality and everything still not being intact, people still loved it because they were like, this is different. I've never seen anything like this. This is dope. And what's so dope about it is you're not just tailoring it to just one particular genre of music. You're focusing on different genres because I've learned over this course of time, I have a very eclectic audience. I have a very diverse crowd. I have old, I have new, I have young. I have people that like a little bit of everything. So I wanted to tailor that just like how I do with my gaming. Have that variety. Do the same thing with music. It's not just hip hop. It's not just rap. We like all different types of genres. We love a little techno. We like some disco, funk, jazz, soul, EDM, classical, whatever you rock.
Yes, the classical. You speaking my language.
Yeah, exactly. So I wanted to showcase that because I love eclectic music. And I know a lot of people out there love the same thing. And I already knew that people weren't going to like certain beats, but I also know that people are going to have their favorites. So I told all the guys, I'm like, look, give me your most eclectic sounds. Don't just focus just on one genre. If you can get creative, mix and match and do this, just give me those. And we did it. We put it together. And again, an amazing turnout. So much that they said we want a part 2. So we did the second one. And that one is nearing the viewership as the first one. That one is like over 500. And then we did it.
Wow.
Now the third time I wasn't sure because I did want to kind of go in the trilogy because I've always loved trilogies when it comes to just anything. But I wasn't sure if we were going to go about doing it. So eventually I got enough people to start watching it and they were like, okay, yeah, you got to do a part 3. So we finally did it. And again, another amazing turnout. So I was going to just leave it at that and just go back to just doing my regular topics. But then, I don't know, someone just told me, like, I know my lady was one of them, but a couple people outside of her were also saying, we got to do some more with this. Like, you're really on to something. And I was like,
you really are.
Thank you. And I was just like, but what though? How can I like flip it and keep it going? The gear in my head went off and I was like, okay, you know what? I'm meeting enough people that do beats and that are producers. Why not have them face off against each other? One-on-one style, still keep this going. And everyone was like, that's dope. But I said this time, to add more people to it, to really make it a vibe, let me get some judges in here this time around. Let me bring people in who've never met each other. Now, that way, it's benefiting everybody. People can connect. People can grow. They can come in. They can listen to some of their favorite type of beats and music, stuff that's a vibe. And it's still getting the guys out there and helping them build their craft and get their name out to bigger audiences now that my audience is starting to expand. So all those elements, again, just taking them, put them all into a pot, and it all correlates around what I do with networking and advertising and promoting. And we're still debating. That's what people forget too. We're still debating. Because you got some people on the panel that agree with this person winning. You got some people that don't. Then you kind of got it where it's neutral, where it becomes like a draw. So
yeah, some people were a draw on the one that I was on, but me, I definitely liked one person more than the other as far as their beats, and it was like amazing.
Yeah, and the biggest thing about this whole thing, it's fun. Everyone's
fun. Oh my gosh!
Even if people don't like certain beats or they don't agree with it, they're still looking at it for what it is. And everyone, I have yet to hear a person tell me, "Oh, I don't like this segment." Everyone's just like, this is dope. This is creative. Like, you did all this yourself? Yes. I mean, again, you guys also are a part of it as well. But yeah, this is all just stuff that just came from his mind.
Mm-hmm. That mind is amazing.
Thank you. And we're just getting started. This is only this one coming up. Next Sunday is going to be episode 4. I've still got about another good 16 episodes on the way. And I'm still meeting people. And that's the other thing, too. I'm meeting people from all around. It's not just locally. I'm meeting people internationally that I found out do music. So you're going to start to see a couple other people from like different countries and overseas that also are doing beats that you're like, whoa, what you know about this type of music? So
Exactly.
yeah. So it's just a great turnout. It gets everybody together, and we all able to just come into one room and just connect and enjoy each other's vibes and stuff like that. And it's growth for everybody, even the judges. Even again, I can't exclude them, judges, because you're meeting people, and you never know who you're going to meet or you're going to bump into who does this or does that. So it's just like people are like, that is just pure genius to do that. I would have never thought to do that. So, yeah,
But
absolutely.
you did, and now you have something going. You have something amazing going too.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I didn't expect it to. I had a feeling it was going to do well. I didn't think it was going to do this well.
I did. I knew it was going to do this well because when I saw those people who were watching live, I was like, "This is going to take off."
Yeah, and I remember doing that first episode back in you said January, right? When we did it. I didn't expect that many people to come in there. I couldn't even keep up with the chat. I was trying my best. I just had to just keep saying hello, be well, how are you doing, good day. I was trying to
well.
I was trying so hard. I'm like, I'm trying to keep up with everybody I can. It's just, but I was just loving it. I'm like, this is beautiful. I was really trying to like hold the tears back. Like, this is so beautiful seeing this and just seeing all the comments and stuff. Seeing everybody's like, I'm loving this. I can vibe to this. I'm pouring a glass of wine to this one. I'm in the living room grooving to this one. Oh, this is that R&B vibe I was looking for. It was just like, it's dope. I still go back and watch the episodes to this day and still just vibe out, play it in the car and stuff like that. Even like the compilation that I started, because I'm still adding to the list. Right now, it's close to like 200. Before it's all said and done, we're probably looking at another like 400 beats probably.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty big compilation. So, there might be some stuff you skip, but all in all, it's going to be dope for people to play it and just listen to it and just hear different sounds. Because again, I like to have something for everybody. Same thing with my gaming, something for everybody. I don't want to just focus on one game. I like to show everything off because it gives people something to look forward to. And you'd be surprised how many people come in and they're like, I'm not a gamer, but just seeing what you're doing with this stuff, you make me want to game now. And that's the thing. Even with the interactive stuff, this game I just recently did the other day, I did this game called Case Files. Everybody came in and got the opportunity to be a real detective, analyze the clues, listen to the evidence, the recordings and stuff like that. And everyone's like, this is dope. And people forget it was a game. It looks real. It's got real life actors and everything, but it's still a game. But people don't even realize, like, there's so many different types of video games. It's not just grabbing a controller. Sometimes you could just do stuff like that from the interactive standpoint that you never knew was formatted into a game and still have a good time with it. So everybody's a gamer in their own sense. It's just different levels to it. So that's what I like to showcase with this channel.
I love it. I'm here for it. Definitely here for it. So I had one other question, but I'm going to insert a bonus question in here.
Okay.
So what advice would you give to someone who's going through their lowest of lows in their life? And what would you say to them to give them a sense of resiliency? What would you say? What advice would you give someone?
Regardless of what anyone says or thinks, that's just what people are going to naturally do. Don't be your own self-setback. I'll never forget what DMX said in I forgot what song it was, but he was saying the only one stopping you is you. Don't let mental blocks or anything, don't what if yourself. Do the exact opposite of everything that you either thought about or either felt like was going to be a setback. Just do it, regardless of what happens. Because if you don't, you're going to sit there years later with that guilt and regret deep down, like, oh, I should have did this or I should have did that. Or someone takes that idea that you had and runs with it, and now they've reached fame, fortune, and all the accolades, not realizing that was your idea that you should have done. Like, don't be a setback for yourself. Whatever you plan on doing, just do it. Disregard what anyone says or thinks. Ignore what anybody's getting you to hear about. That's what they're going to do. That's what people are designed to do. It sucks. It's the worst. But you got to just take the chance. You got to just roll the dice and see what happens, because you never know. Again, look at my story. I started this channel mid 2018. I only had maybe 1 or 2 subscribers. One of those subscribers was myself. To go from that to now being monetized to now, I'm only 50 subs away from being 2K.
Wow.
Like, you gotta give it time. You gotta be patient. Don't focus so much on just trying to be viral and be the next big thing. That's great and all, but you gotta also keep in mind, it's easy to get into this, but once you're on top, how long can you stay on top? More importantly, if you do go viral, you got to be able to top that same thing that made you go viral. That's why I bring up the whole thing with Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson did Off the Wall. It was amazing, but he knew he was going to have to top that, and he did it with Thriller, which was amazing. One thing I love about him as an artist, he was always trying to get better, always trying to top or come close to what he did previously.
Yeah.
You got to be able to do that, because if you don't top what made you famous, of course now you're going to feel the pressure. You're going to feel like, oh my God, you're going to lose the what happened. Where did it all go wrong? Again, don't focus so much on that. Just get out there, have fun, get creative, get innovative, and don't let anybody be a block in the road. They're going to do it. I still get people that troll and say this and say that. I mean, and again, not to be cocky or conceited, but you can't tell me nothing at this point. I've done it.
Right.
So if I can, so can you. And I've done it with what little bit I have. I don't have a whole big studio and all that. I literally just got this new refurbished laptop for $300. I've just been watching and observing what everybody's doing, and I'm just doing it. I could have sat there and told myself, no, I'm not doing the debate table. No, I'm not going to do Battle of the Beats. No, I'm not going to start this channel and do all this variety and all this content. I could have told myself that. I could have just stuck with what I was normally doing, but I did it. And look at the turnout. So if I can do it, so can anyone else. But you got to be patient. You got to give it time. More importantly, you have to ask yourself, whatever you're doing, no matter what it is, whether it's content creating or any God-given talent or skill you have, make sure it's something you want to do. Know the ins and outs of it and go full throttle with it. That's it. Simple. Sometimes it's the little things that we don't realize that make the biggest impact. So again, but it starts with you, because no one can change you. No one can tell you what to do or how to do it. You got to want to do it yourself. So that's just something I advise for everybody to do. Don't be your own setback with anything. While you're sitting there second guessing, doubting, doing all that what if from a negative standpoint, you could have already did it. You could have already had it out there. You could have already, put it together, shaped and molded and whatever. And it could have been out there and it could have been growing. But if you just keep, it ain't gonna go nowhere. Ain't nobody gonna like it. Oh, I'm giving up. I'll quit. You'll never know until you do it. Again, look at everything I've done. Look at my journey. So people still tell me, like, even with all the accolades and stuff, people still tell me, like, you are the most underrated content creator on here. I've had a lot of people tell me that. Me and I recently just said that. They're like, he's underrated as hell. How is he not bigger? My same mentor that told me to, shorten the name up and stuff, he got mad on one of his streams, like, how the hell is BDBGP not at a higher level? Like, he's better than a lot of these people out there. He's like, no disrespect, but he is. He's creative.
I agree. You are better than a lot of people out here in general.
Thank you.
You just that damn good. In my Triple H voice, you are that damn good.
Thank you. And again, just be yourself. You don't gotta get in the mirror and be something that you know you're not. I tell people all the time, the same person that you see on camera, I'm the same person off. So be that. But you gotta get out whatever depressive state or funk you're in. You gotta get out of whatever you feel is holding you back. There's really nothing holding you back. Like I tell people all the time, you can't have the drive if you allow yourself to remain in park. Cars are meant to go forward, not backwards. And if they go backwards, it's only to spin you around to have you go forward. The only time you ever seen a backwards driving vehicle was Biggie when he was in the Hypnotized video going backwards rapping. I put on the NY on the DKNY and the C look. But again, eventually he had to go forward. So our eyes are here, not back there, for us to go forward. There's nothing back there. So erase all the doubts, all the criticism, whatever you think is a setback, erase that and just do it and wait to see what happens. again, be appreciative too, especially on here with this platform. Don't get mad if you do a stream and only 2 or 3 views show up at the end of the stream. That's okay. Because think about it. Think about how many people are in this world. All those people took time out of their busy, hectic schedules to come and see you. So be appreciative of that, because they could have been watching the next person that's doing the exact same thing as you. So be grateful of that. But just know that that video is going to grow over time. That video I just talked about earlier, the one me and my brother did, I had no idea that video did that. I just told him today, I'm like, it just hit 3,000 views. He's like, you lying. I'm dead serious. He's like, wow. A low budget video that didn't even have great audio quality from us talking has done 3,000 views in a year.
That means you're doing something right.
So come on. If you don't hear anything else I say, hear this. You know, don't be a setback. Don't be your own setback. Do it. Think about Nike's slogan. Just do it. Stop thinking. Stop overdoing it. Stop getting overwhelmed. And, okay, I gotta do this. This is not a hard platform. I know a lot of people were quick to say that. This is not hard. This is fun.
It's fun. It's just some people make it harder than it has to be.
They do, because they are stuck in their own head believing that. They believe it's difficult when it's really not. Look, with everything I'm doing right now, between my jobs and the podcast and the channel, I'm having fun. Balance too is the biggest thing. You got to balance it all out. Give time for everything that you're doing. Give time for your channel. Give time for everything off the channel or any other skill or talent you're doing. Balance it all out, and you'll be able to do it with no problem, because everybody's like, how the hell are you doing all this stuff? Because I give time for each one. I give time. I balance it all out evenly. I make time for my lady. No, we have a long distance relationship. I make time for my channel. I make time to do these podcast episodes. I make time to still go to work and do 2 jobs, 1 full-time, 1 part-time, and still get this money and still be able to live comfortably. I make time for everything. And I'm not tired or overwhelmed, and I'm still able to get rest. So, again, and you got to look forward to it, huh?
You have a long-distance relationship?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
We don't live together. She lives out west. I live here on the East Coast.
So you live on the East Coast and she lives on the West Coast?
She lives on the West. I'm here on the East. And we've been together over a year now.
You all make it seem like you see each other every week.
We make the time. It's balance. I go see her. She comes see me. Eventually, we're going to move in together, but we're making that time.
That's beautiful. But
But
where would you all move in at? Because I'm pretty sure she loves the West Coast and you love the East Coast. So
I'm going to go over there for a little bit, and then she says she's open to coming out here. So
to Florida or to the East Coast?
Florida. Yeah, Florida.
Ron DeSantis is not a nice guy, and he don't deserve, like, for me, he don't deserve my dollars. But I'm just saying.
He doesn't, but like I said, I love Florida, and she knows I love it, so she's open to like coming out here. You know, like I said, we got a lot of things we want to do, but yeah, we're definitely going to make the transition and be closer. So she can't do it right now. So and I get it. So it makes more sense for me to go make the transition.
Right. So Dee Waters, welcome in. So last question is, what have you been manifesting for yourself in 2023, and what can we look forward to seeing from you and your channel?
That's another daily double question. Wow.
I asked the hard questions. You should have been watching the playlist so you can be ready.
I've been watching. I just it's different because, you know, like I said, I'm probably the first gamer.
Yeah, you're the first gamer on my channel.
Yeah, so, you know, the questions I know are going to be a little different. They're still good, though. It's good. I really feel like I'm in court right now.
It's different because we spilled the tea over here. That's why. Yeah. So, of course, I'm going to ask the questions like I'm Tamron Hall. But I'm going to spill the tea.
Yeah. I'm
like we are on the Breakfast Club.
I'm sweating bullets right now. I got about 20 unpaid parking tickets for this interview. Be gentle.
I believe it, but I just hope they've gotten dismissed, though.
No, they have. Yeah, it's not 20. It ain't that many. My manifestation, to just keep doing what I'm doing and just challenge myself to take it to further heights. Definitely. Like, I'm always looking to do the next biggest and most creative thing. Again, I never wanted to be put in the same box or category as everyone else. I've always pride myself on daring to be different. Because I was always told, I remember my Aunt Angie, I talked to her one day before I moved down here, and she was telling me what's called a gambaro. And what it is a Japanese word that's used to represent yourself in one's entirety. So basically, you pick a word that you feel represents you as a whole. So if you had to pick one word that you could say describes you in its entirety, what would it be? For me, I said different. Because that was something that my dad told me, like when I was fresh out the womb. He told my mom he's going to be different. So for me, I've always like instilled that. So if you had to ask yourself that, if you had to pick one, Angelina, what would it be?
Between what exactly?
Just one word, one positive word that you feel describes you as a whole, as a character. Your persona.
Oh, honorable.
So there it is. So yeah, so that's where that stemmed from. So just me, I've always wanted to be different. I always wanted to stand out. And I'm going to continue to keep standing out. I'm going to continue to keep doing more of these episodes with the podcast, adding more and more Battle of the Beats. Where even now, I'm talking to some of the guys. I've been asking them, we're thinking about doing an extension off of this series. We're thinking about now getting producers to collaborate and do 2-on-2 type battles. So blending their sounds together with one person, with someone else who they've never even met, come together and possibly put an amazing sound together from both of their creative minds and face off against another duo. So that's what we're talking about. We're kind of in the development stages of it. I'm hoping I can get enough people on the board with that. If not, then, it is what it is. I'm happy just doing this. But definitely more with the podcast, definitely more games, more stuff with movie video game night that I started doing. If you guys don't know what that is, it's basically these video games that I find that are actually like interactive movies and television shows. And what I do is when I stream them, it gives everyone the opportunity to come in and choose which decisions they're going to go with. And what happens is whatever decision you make alters what's going to happen in the game. So the outcome could be good or bad or in between. And it's dope because it gets everybody involved. It's not just coming in, just watching, just tuning in. Now you get to actually feel like you're a part of the game. So definitely stuff with that. Some of the game shows that I've been doing, like Family Feud, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? I got some of these interactive party games I'm going to be doing more of, to, where people can actually grab their devices and play from the channel while I'm streaming. So a lot of content, more games that you guys haven't seen or heard of, old school, new stuff from my retro hour, where it's tailored to all old school classic games, like some of the stuff that you like playing from like Nintendo and Sega and stuff like that. Definitely new stuff. Just, again, more variety and more ways to get people involved so they feel a part of it.
That is amazing. Well, thank you so much for sharing all of this. You shared your whole life almost. The only thing we didn't get a chance to get into about is like, what it was like growing up on the East Coast and things like that. But that's why we're going to have you back during season 2 of The Message.
Oh, yeah,
we're going to dig deeper.
Definitely.
So before we wrap up, we got to pay some bills. So we're going to go into a quick commercial break. So we will be right back after these messages.
Hi guys, I am Me.
I'm your boy Weez.
And welcome back to Meet and I.
Now, our channel Meet and I is about several things.
A lot.
We have travels. We have weight loss. Our marriage. This year make 23 years for us. We talk about support. We just
Channel Blessings.
We do restaurant, black-owned restaurant reviews. Like she said, Channel Blessings, where we showcase a YouTube channel and highlight them. We also go live every Saturday at 8:30 p.m. So if you're looking for a fun time where we at 9 o'clock we toast and cheer and show love, we celebrate wins and losses. Come over every Saturday at 8:30 to our Saturday live special. From what the streets saying, it's one of the best lives on the Saturday night. I ain't said it. That's what the streets say. So if you're looking for a good time, come over to come over to Me and I And our channel, subscribe to it. We definitely love to have you. Tell me about our second channel, baby.
The second one is Sipping with Me Then I, No G. It's your GPS to Black-owned spirits. We spotlight Black-owned brands. We taste test, we review, and we have round table interviews.
Where Black-owned owners of brands will come over to celebrate and talk about their brand, guys. So we got 2 channels for you. I'm pretty sure you'll find value in both. But coming over to me now, and we'll definitely have a good time with you.
Wow. All right. So before we wrap up, so Big Daddy Beard, tell everyone where they can find you.
You can find me in St. Louis rolling on dubs, on the shrubs, shrubs, because it's all because. No. I had to.
It was getting good. You shouldn't have stopped.
I remember the other lyrics. I forgot because he starts to kind of like mumble a little bit. You gotta like look his lyrics up and like.
Maybe that's where the mumble rap came from.
I mean, it's mumble rap with some clarity. Like I can actually understand it somewhat. But the people today, not one bit. I tell everybody, I call it underwater rap. You ever go underwater and try to have a conversation? Like, huh?
People actually try that?
People have tried it. I've actually seen people try to have conversation. It's nothing but mad bubbles. I'm like, we can't hear you, right? Like, I don't know.
You're not SpongeBob and Patrick, so don't try to have a conversation underwater.
Yeah, and then the conversation ends when they start getting low on breath. Now they got to come back up to the surface. I said, how you feeling? How you living? I can't understand that. Like, put it in the bubbles or something. Like, every bubble that pops out should say, how? Ooh, yeah. Ooh, feeling. That's 2 bubbles because, it's the...
Yeah.
But
much.
The syllables. But, yeah. No, what was I going to say?
So where can everybody find you? Social medias?
Instagram at J2 the Street Artist. I'm on there. I know a lot of people are probably expecting like, how do you don't use the BDB on there? That's because that's tailored for all of my art and graphic design work. So I didn't want to be known as Big Daddy Beard on that, knowing that that's not tailored to art. So J2 the Street Artist on Instagram. You can catch me on Discord, BDBGP on there. Everything is in my about section too on my YouTube channel. So if you go there, you'll see everything. You'll see my SoundCloud. You'll see my Discord. SoundCloud is the same thing. Big Daddy Beard. You can find me on there. Even though I don't do any music, that's just set up so that I can showcase the compilation. Because I've actually done 2. So I have one on YouTube. It's the All Stars compilation, and I have the second one on the SoundCloud. For those that have an account, you can check out some of the other music. Because there's some artists who have their stuff on there that they don't have on YouTube. So I wanted to be able to still have everything. You'll still see some stuff that you've seen on the previous one, but you'll also see some of the other stuff as well from some of the other artists that are going to be featured. So YouTube, of course, BDBGP. I mean, that's pretty much all of my contact. I mean, of course, if you guys have my email, JadenJJ, _JJ10 @gmail, if you need to hit me up for anything, you can definitely do so there. I'm not a big social media head. I'm just not really into it like that. Again, I have Instagram because my mentor had suggested it would be really good to help me advertise with my business, which is Street Artists, custom art and graphic design work. If there's anybody that needs anything art related, just hit me up. It's never a problem. It's only a phone call. So you can contact me that way. Again, Discord. And of course, PlayStation, if anybody has any games, I'm on there as Big Daddy Beard. There's hyphens in between it. And you can also hit me up too on the Nintendo Switch for anybody that has one. JLeo2. So yeah, all the different ways to get in touch with me. And if you have my phone number too, that as well.
There you go. Well, thank you so much for being here today on this special edition of The Message. So I'm going to share a few thoughts. Please stick around, though. I'm just going to put you back for a second.
Okay.
So, but thank you all for being here. This really is an amazing show, and I got my own message to share really quickly. While life has been difficult and tough for many, for those of us who the daily trials and tribulations have affected directly or indirectly, we have sought escapism through the confines of YouTube and other social media platforms. While some of us have found happier forms of coping through the fellowship of which we have created amongst ourselves, some others have not been so fortunate. All the more reason to celebrate each and every triumphant moment and accomplishment and view every loss as a lesson. Don't allow for the losses to distort your vision for your life. You only have the one life. Although losses are of the inevitable, so are the successes. Turn the successes into motivation and the losses into lessons. So I hope you take away with that what you may. Thank you so much for being on the message. Thank you so much for being here today. And if you have not had a chance to, don't forget to check out the last couple of episodes of Chasing Liberation. It's on my channel. If you have not caught the latest few episodes, there's a playlist on my channel to check out the Chasing Liberation playlist, as well as the playlist for the message, and catch up on everything so you can be up to date, because we're going nowhere but up from here. I am, again, the Honorable Angelina Nordstrom. Thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. The next episode will be this Thursday, which means we'll be back on our regular schedule, where we will have Love and Live Show as our guest for the next episode. So I look forward to seeing you all there. Be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and see you next time. Take it easy.